All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders, the apostles, and bishops of Great Millstone, whom I learned this truth from. Peace and salutations to the hopefully elect of the nation of Yasharallah. Shalom. And the title of this lesson is going to be Esau, the so-called white man, has the people blinded, all right, has the people fooled, okay, except the elect of Yahweh Shemel Shai, okay, the hopefully elect, which we hope to be a part of. But, you're just looking around, all right, looking at especially our people, okay, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the Israelites, and the heathen as well. But just observing, everyone and how they deal with Esau Edom, the so-called white man, especially you Jakes, all right, you really think, that this man, you really think Esau, loves you. You really believe Esau cares about you, all right? You really believe in his Christianity, okay, in his false religion, all right? You really believe that the so-called white man is you know you really believe he's a man of the Lord. Okay, you really believe that Yahweh Shai, okay, the one you call Sweet Jeebus, is a so-called white man, even though the proof, all right, the records and the scriptures say otherwise. You you still believe that this man, all right, is especially those small hats, even though they're being exposed, all right, through the scriptures, okay, and it being prophecy, a lot of people are still blinded by this man, all right, and that's ultimately because it's prophecy and it's the will of Yahweh Shemel Shai, okay. All right, let's go ahead and grab Isaiah 16:2, and it reads, "For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people." All right, darkness, it has covered this earth, okay, because Esau, the so-called white man, he's in rulership, all right, at this current moment. And he has the earth and his world underneath Satan in gross darkness, all right? And this is why you see, okay, our people, the Israelites, and they're blinded by Esau, man. Okay, they can't see through the confusion and the lies, and the deceit that this devil comes with on a daily basis. All right, all these, so-called scandals and, the Diddy case, and, there's so much confusion that is being poured out, okay, via, you know, the internet, all right, via, his media, which goes back to medium, which is a form of witchcraft or enchantments, okay, that people are engulfed in darkness. But the Lord Yahweh shall arise upon thee, and in his glory shall be seen upon thee. Okay, speaking about the elect. Okay, what the Lord he has risen upon us, meaning what he has given us is this truth. He's given us this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to be able to see through the gross darkness. All right. This is why, to have the word of the Lord, it truly is a blessing in these last days, man, because all right, yo, so-called family, people you work with, all right, yo, woman, okay, yo, children, they're still in that darkness, man, because they can't see how we see, all right, they can't fathom Esau Edom, the so-called white man, being destroyed. Okay, you tell that you go to a Jake, just a regular ass Jake, and tell and if you were to tell him that the so-called white man is going to be destroyed and be taken down, all right, they will look at you like you have two heads, all right, because Esau he has people blinded, he has people fooled, all right, as if he's going to beat Yahweh, man. These people really believe that Esau Edom is going to, if if people have an understanding of Yahweh Shai coming back to you know destroy this earth and deliver his elect, these people will really believe that Esau and his technology has a chance against Yahweh Shai, man. That's how gone these people are. All right, let's go here. 2 Corinthians 4:3, and it reads, for Salakia, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. Okay, these people are lost, man, especially Jakes. All right, they're lost, man. You know, if the Lord ain't, if Yahweh Shai ain't dealing with them, then they're lost. It doesn't matter if they're your father, all right, your mother, your cousin, your favorite auntie, man. If they ain't in this truth, then the gospel, the true gospel, which is the good news about the elect, okay, of the Israelites being delivered and Yahweh Shai destroying our enemy, our chief enemy, Esau, Edom. Okay, if they ain't, uh, uh, going according to the tune of this true gospel, then they're lost. All right, they're blinded by Esau. Okay, his religion, all right, his technology. Okay, his way of thinking and way of life. All right, these Jake really worships Esau Edom. All right, whatever Esau tells them to do, Jake will do it. No questions asked. All right, but when you come with the scriptures and what the Lord requires, then there's a bucking up. All right, there's why I gotta do this, why I gotta do that. Okay, I could do what I want, but when it comes to Esau, the so-called white man, there is no rebuttal. Okay, Jake will faithfully stop at that red light. Okay, no ifs ands or buts. Okay, because Jake is blinded by Esau. All right, 2 Corinthians 4:4, and it reads, "In whom the God of this world have blinded." All right, who's the God of this world? Okay, ask questions for you Jakes, man. All right, who scoff and mock at the truth. Who's the God of this world? Who's in rulership? Okay, who's able to control the media? Who's able to warp people's minds? You saw the so-called white man through Satan, but Satan as a physical counterpart. All right, he has somebody he's dealing with, he's using. Okay, whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not. Okay, people that you come across, all right, your family, whoever, if they ain't in this truth, they don't believe. Okay, they don't believe in Yahweh Shemel Shai. So Esau has their mind. Okay, so-called white men, the beginning with the elites, they have the minds of these people that we deal with. All right, your boss, okay, your woman, your children, your coworkers. They're Esau has their minds. All right, this is why if you try to say anything negative about the so-called white man, they get a bad taste in their mouth because Esau has their mind. All right, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, who is the image of the Most High Yahweh. All right, his son, the son looks just like the Heavenly Father, man. Okay, which Yahushua is a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah, right? Should shine unto them, right? And this is it's not, okay. It ain't. It's not gonna shine unto them, man. This is why the God of this world, who is Esau, okay, the so-called illuminated ones, they have the minds of these people, all right. Okay, your father, your mother, all right. If they're still around, your siblings, so-called, siblings, you know, they Esau has them, man. The devil has them. Okay, but us, man, we've been given, we've been given a very very glorious gift from on high, from the Heavenly Father. All right, to be able to see through Esau's nonsense, to know his moves, but just dealing with Esau, on the job. All right, and they don't know what I know. All right, they don't know that I know that they're Edomites. Okay, Esau always thinks he has the upper hand, especially when it comes to the so-called black man. All right, he thinks he's, oh, just another stupid nigger, not knowing that, I know who he is. All right, so you're able to what? You're able to maneuver around Esau because we're not blinded. Okay, just like just a quick testimony. I had my supervisor, whatever. He gave everyone some money. Okay, decent amount of money he gave everyone. All right, and everyone was praising this goddamn devil. Oh yeah, such and such gave me this amount of money. That was so thoughtful. That was so nice. All right, that was so great. He's just a great guy, and just licking his Edomite nuts, man. But me, all right, knowing how Esau operates and how he moves, all right, it wasn't nothing. It was okay, you know. The scriptures tell you that a gift destroyed the heart. Esau knows that, man. He knows that if he can, give things to you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, whether it be money or promotion, knew this, knew that, he has your mind. All right, but not so with the elect, man. All right, the Esau is not going to be able to fool the elect. This is why he's going to come after the Lord's elect, man. Okay, the hopefully elect, which we hope to be a part of. Psalms 119 and 105, and it reads, "Thy word is a lamp unto my feet." Okay, the words of Yahweh Shem Shai helps us see through the darkness. All right, this word, man. All right, you'll have Christians, so-called Christians, quote the scripture, and they don't even know, they don't understand what they're talking about. All right, you so-called Christians who believe in Christianity, which is nothing more than Edomite supremacy. You ain't got the lamp, man. All right, Yahweh Shema ain't dealing with you guys. You don't have the lamp. All right, the Lord didn't give you His true word, man. All right, you so-called Christians, you still blinded. You still in darkness, man. And a light unto my path. All right, our path is lightened with this word. All right, meaning what? We're able to see through Esau, Edom's darkness. We're able to see through his tricks. All right, Esau, well, he'll give you things to get your guard down. All right, so you'll trust him, but the scriptures say never trust thine enemy. All right, just because Esau will so-called give you something, that don't mean you start trusting and believing in this devil, right? He's a great guy, all right? No, man, Esau is the devil, all right? And you Jakes, okay, you're getting ready to see who Esau really is, man. All right, Revelations 12:12. Okay, the devil shall come down having great wrath. All right, he's about to show you Jakes. Okay, he's about to take those he's about to take those blinders off you niggas, man. Okay, you gonna see, all right, exactly who Satan and the devil is, man. All right, it ain't gonna be no asking questions. You know, who's the devil? You know, where is he? You know, who and where? Nah, man. Okay, the Lord is about to put a cold spirit on these devils and show you exactly who this man is. All right, this is Revelations. All right, see if yeah, Revelations 12:9, and it reads, "And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent." Who's the great dragon? Right, Esau. Okay, that old serpent going back to the garden. All right, it came back, and he came back in the spirit of Esau. Okay, called the devil and Satan. Devil means deceiver, and Satan means adversary. Right, that's all it means. Which deceiveth the whole world. Okay, Esau, so-called white man, the great dragon, the serpent. Okay, the devil, Satan. These are all titles for the so-called white man. He deceived the whole world, meaning what? He blinded the whole world. You know, just when you really just meditate and take a step back and look at everyone's mind. Okay, their mind is geared to the mind of Esau. All right, he deceived the whole entire world. Okay, he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. All right, going into Esau being destroyed by Yahushai, okay, and the angels. All right, but I wanted to get it because it says he deceived the whole world. This man. This is heavy. All right, when you really just think about it, this man has blinded the minds of everyone on this earth. Okay, through the left hand, except the elect. You know, that's a great that's a great Esau has power on the left hand to be able to have the whole world except the elect. Okay, to have their minds, to have them thinking that you're this great man, and that you're that it's deep. Okay, this is why the prayer, man, stay prayed up, because Esau, this man, he's getting ready to do a lot of left-handed miracles that's gonna have these people eating out the palm of his hand. All right, I want it off here. Okay, Matthew 24:24. Okay, we'll grab what AI says. It says AI overview. The phrase that even the very elect be deceived come from Matthew 24:24 in the Bible, which warns of false Christ and false prophets who will perform great signs and wonders. All right, this Esau, through his AI technology and through his left-handed miracles, man, he's gonna perform great signs and wonders. All right, having blind people see. Okay, having lame, people who have been, limbs have been taken off. Okay, people who can't walk, they're gonna be walking. All right, he's already doing it now, but he's gonna put it on Front Street. All right, he's gonna put it on the news, okay, and show these people who couldn't walk, and they gonna be walking, and people are gonna think that the Lord is dealing with him. All right, deceiving even God's chosen ones. All right, the 2/3. Okay, and highlights the potential for powerful deceptions, even affecting those who are closest to the Most High God Yahweh, man. So yeah, man, Esau, he got power on the left hand side, but he ain't. It is nothing, all right, compared to the right. Okay, and that's what we have through the Spirit and power, Yahweh Shema Shai. We willing we be the hopefully elect. Okay, we got that the right hand, man. That's gonna knock this devil out. All right. Ultimately, what Yahweh Shai. Okay, went it off Matthew 24, and let's see. Yeah, we'll end it off in the A and P, and it reads, "For false Christ and false prophets will appear, and they will provide great signs and wonders." Okay, Esau, he getting ready to provide great signs and wonders, man, via that chip and his left-handed technology. All right, so as to deceive, if possible, even the elect, God's chosen ones. All right, the Israelites. Okay, this is his whole mission is to get the minds of the Israelites and deceive them. All right, but he hasn't counted on the elect. Okay, the elect they ain't gonna be deceived. We're not gonna be deceived. Okay, this is why he's gonna come. He's gonna come hard because there's nothing he's gonna be able to do against the elect. He can't bribe the elect. He can't deceive him. He don't got their minds. You know, I just gotta take him out, right? And that's when the Lord gonna lift up that standard. Okay, but with that, we'll end it off. Well, it was edifying. Till next time, Shalom.